anger can really affect you. Anger can make you not live a fulfilling life. Acknowledge what your brothers did to you. Acknowledge what your sisters did to you. Acknowledge what your friends did to you. I want you to acknowledge. Choose what you're going to say. Choose how you're going to work on recovery. Choose on what you're going to tell your boss. Hello, people of purpose. My name is Mercy Wanjeri, a clinical psychologist licensed here in Nairobi, Kenya. It's always my pleasure to welcome you to this show because you're going to meet a personal growth coach, a youth psychologist, and also marriage and family therapist. What a good way to welcome you here, because I have aligned or prepared for you something interesting that will help you navigate through this life. Have you been at a point whereby you just felt you can't take it? And you're wondering how, where, what can I do? Where do I start? Have you been there? So this video is for you because I want us to go straight to that which I have prepared for you, and that is none other than anger management. What is anger management? What is anger itself? Allow me to explain what anger is. Anger is when you have been doing something or you have interacted with somebody and they made you angry. Maybe they talked ill about you. Maybe they lied about you. Maybe you're working with people who have gone behind your back. Or maybe it is a relationship that you have found out that your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife is cheating on you. Or maybe it is money that you had agreed, it's a business deal, that you had agreed with somebody, with your business partner, and all of a sudden they have gone behind your back and did that tender or did that quotation. That's the kind of anger we are talking about. Maybe it is an estate that you have been given by your father, and yet your sibling is after your wealth or is after your piece of land or any other estate. Can you see that? And so that can bring resentment. That is a good cause of anger. And so we're just trying to see what is anger. It is that feeling, deep feeling that you feel when people have wronged you. And you feel so angry because you're wondering, why me? Why you? Why did they decide to do this? And so it gets into you and you feel you cannot take it anymore. It continues eating you. You cannot be able to eat. Can you see that? You cannot be able to even go to places because you're full of anger. Your body is shaking. You cannot be able to work or operate optimally. That's what I'm talking about. Anger can really affect you. Anger can make you not live a fulfilling life. Anger can cause your mental status not to align well because it is going to lead you into headaches. You will not be able to function well and you'll have experiences of gastrointestinal issues because you are not able to function well. That is the anger that I'm talking about. And so, friends, people of purpose, I want to bring something else, and that is anger management. Friends, how do we manage anger in our lives? How do we manage those people who wrong us? How do we manage things that we cannot be able to control? That is why I bring to you the 5 A's that will help you be able to navigate anger management. Welcome to managing anger. And I hope this video is going to help you to be able to manage what is happening to you right now so that you can be able to let go. It is a process. The first A is acknowledge. Acknowledge. What is this that you want to know? What is this that happened? What is this that somebody just took your money and left? What is this that somebody took your wife and decided to go with them? What is this that maybe somebody went behind your back? Acknowledge, 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 acknowledge it. Acknowledge the way you're feeling. Headaches, irritability, lack of sleep. Acknowledge. I want you to acknowledge. I want you to know that you're frustrated right now. Are you frustrated? Are you feeling you can't take it anymore? Are you easily irritable? Acknowledge. Acknowledge what your brothers did to you. Acknowledge what your sisters did to you. Acknowledge what your friends did to you. I want you to acknowledge. Okay? Please acknowledge. Because the moment we acknowledge is when we are going to start healing. What else? The number 2A is all about anger is none other than accept. Accept. Do you want to accept what happened? Do you want to really know they did what they did to you? Do you want to accept it is them who did it? Do you want to accept that that's how things are? That is the blueprint. Because when you live with denial, it is continuing to rain havoc inside your mind. And so, how can you accept? Because if you're not able to accept what happened or what is going on, that thing will continue eating you up. Can you see that? And so, I want to tell you this. Can you allow yourself to accept what happened without being so harsh on yourself? Please, accept what happened without being so hard on you. You have been hard on yourself for so long. And this is an opportunity for you to reconnect with yourself and say, this is what happened. This is exactly what happened. And I have said this. Let me accept it, because we have talked about this in this forum. The things that you cannot be able to change, you just let them go. The things that are disturbing you and you have no control, let them go. You can only control what is within you. And the only thing we can do is to accept. And so, why are we accepting? I want us to look at accepting your inner conflict. You know, why did they do this to me? Why me? Why did they choose to hurt me? Why did they choose not to give me my estate? Why did they choose to sell things behind my back? Why did they choose to buy things without letting me know? Why did they choose to make decisions without me? Hello. Can you see that? That is what I'm saying. Accept it. It is what happened and it is the truth. Let's dive into the third A, and that is access. Assess the situation. How is the situation moving on? How did it start? Where is it? Where are we going? Assess. Assess the whole scenario. Yes, they sat down and decided to give me a small portion of money. Money we had worked for. Money you had worked for. But they decided not to pay the whole of that money. Hello. Are you there? Can you hear this? Yes. They decided to change what was written to give you something else that is not yours. Assess the situation. Why did they? I want you to imagine what were they thinking. Can you see that? Because once you start assessing the situation, you're loosening up. Now you're coming into your realization. Lo? You mean they did this? You mean this is the reality? Yes. And by the way, you can also be angry because of loss of someone, because of loss of property, because of loss of a job, because of a loss of yourself. Anger. Anger management. Can you see? Are you assessing? Are you looking at ways to assess? What are the facts? What is the situation on the ground? What is the boss saying about this? What is the pastor saying about this? What is my mother saying about this? Assess the situation. And what happens is we want to know after assessment, what else can we do? And that is the fourth A, and that is it's time to act. 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 I want you to choose a constructive response towards your anger. Yeah, choose. Just act. Choose. Choose what you're going to say. Choose how you're going to work on recovery. Choose on what you're going to tell your boss. Choose on what you're going to tell the committee when you're called to say what happened. Just act. Act. Because the moment you stop acting, hello, that thing continues eating you inside. And I want to say this. When you are there and you are acting, and now there's a panel, it's discussing, or it's a family meeting, they're discussing about you, or it is the relationship between you two people, the husband and the wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, or any relationship, sibling relationships. Please, speak calmly. Hello. I want to give you anger management strategies using the 5 A's, and we are on the 4th. Act. Speak calmly. Be very assertive. What do I mean? Just notice whatever you are saying, you know how people would react towards it. So be alert. Be present in that room. Represent yourself as yourself. Be the representative of your own self. That is assertiveness. And then, I want you to take deep breaths when you want to discuss this issue. Breathe in. Out. When you feel tensed in that room, make sure you breathe in, and nobody will know what you're doing, but you're refueling your body. You're giving your body energy so that you can be able to talk about what happened. Remember, you've already assessed yourself. You remember, you have already acknowledged what happened. Can you see that? So, when you act in that boardroom, in that hospital, in that, any setup, in that dining table, in that round table, in that couch where people are, and you're discussing and solving the problem, please, I want you to express yourself using I. I feel that was wrong. Refer to yourself. I feel that this meeting needs to be conducted ABCD. I feel that I was wrongly represented. I feel that this meeting is missing 2 people, which I feel they need to be called into the round table. Can you see that? How do you feel? I want you to place that I in the meeting, because now you've started focusing on yourself as a sign of healing. I want you to solve the problem by setting a boundary. How they are going to react towards you, and how you're going to react towards them. Up to where can they reach? Because you see, when you're doing this kind of anger management, you might find people who are so loud. You might find people who will start insulting you. You will find people who will not have respect. They will start throwing tantrums, or maybe tearing papers, or doing something extraordinary, and which is not supposed to be there. So please, how can you be able to set a boundary and say, I will accept that people speak in low tones. Please, this is a meeting that we need to agree. So let us respect this meeting. Can you see that? You're trying to manage anger to yourself, because you're doing what we're calling a resolution. You're doing conflict management. Can you see that? And so the last but not the least is none other than adapt. Adapt. Learn how to adjust when things go wrong on you. Learn how to react when things are not okay to you. Why am I saying this? It is because we had already said that things we have no control, we just leave them. Let me ask you, what is it so hard for you to adapt to what happened? That is the journey of anger management. After this, what will I be? You'll still be a sister, you'll still be a brother, you'll still be a son, you'll still be a wife, you'll still be a husband, you will still be somebody in that company. Maybe you'll still be the sales and marketing person in that company. So the moment you start adapting towards what has been solved, and living your life. That is how to manage anger in your life. And you will also remember, it is experience that this episode, what has it taught you? What is it that you have learned during this anger management? Would you like now to be more stronger when you're dealing with these issues? Will you be able to mentor others on how to manage anger? Will you able to train people on how to have conflict resolution without any, hiccup, without people throwing words at each other, without people, punching each other, going physical, throwing chairs, because they cannot be able to manage their anger. And so this is a good thing. And also, I would like to let you know, look at your patterns. How are your patterns? When do you get angry? And when do you manage this? Because there are people who have anger issues and they don't know what to do. It could be childhood traumas. It could be rejection. All these things carry themselves. Can you see? Carry themselves until they reach a point whereby when somebody talks something, you're so alert. And so you're thinking that they're just thinking about you. Whereas they're out of the way. They're just having their fun. Can you see that? And so what am I saying? I want to explain that those 5 A's is the doorway to opening conversations, to solving problems that arise when it comes to anger and anger management. And so I welcome you to ask you, do you remember the 5 A's? Thank you very much. Would you like to put these 5 A's in your list of managing anger? Yes. Would you like to learn more about them so that you can be able to be a strong person when it comes to anger management? Yes. And so what else do I have except to thank you so much for having good time listening about anger and how to manage anger in your life. Remember, I want to leave you with this. Learn to adjust because you have a long way to go to maintain your cool. Thank you and see you soon.